Okay, better start the VOD then. Looks like they're readying up anyway. Alright, welcome to levelupyourgame.net. I'm Disrepute. esportsheaven.net Full Tilt Poker Championship Grand Final Division 2 Foundation versus C4. This is the playoff for €200. Let's just have a look at the two teams. For Foundation, Simons, Nishak, Twister and Old Splatterhands. For C4 we got Curson, West, Morpheus and Samuth. First map will be deep inside. That is C4's map pick. The old OSP5, one of the classic maps of Quake 3. And one of the popular favourites of Quake Live now, with a quad. Does have a red, 2 yellows and a mega health. Got the full arsenal available. And let's just switch off Curson. Actually, let's do a little NVC fly through. So here it is, the quad room. Probably one of the most exciting quad rooms of many maps. It's one of the rooms you do want to lock down early, stop the opponents coming in. 2 doorways in the lower area there, 2 in the upper on this side. And this bridge area is an area you want to get locked down early, especially with railguns. Quad spawns on that spot straight in the middle of the screen. Can't point, unfortunately. And the most dangerous point has to be the bounce pad. Players timing it to absolute perfection to come up and land on that quad and steal it away. Do you have the lower basement area with the mega health? It's got a yellow armor and a lightning gun if you can traverse the whole distance of that lower area of the map. And the map's generally split in two. The teams will play the quad and the railgun position and hold that bridge, putting a lot of pressure on the red armor with the rail shots. They have probably the advantage to the mega health dropping down through that hole, as we just saw in the floor. From above, they also have a close yellow armor by the quad damage. The other team might decide to stay at the armor side of the map. They might try and time the yellows and take them both away from the quad carriers, and if they can lock down the red armor area, they'll at least have advantage with the armor pickups. So teams are almost ready to go. Morpheus, just the last player ready to ready up. Here we go, going live. Grand Final Division 2. Old Splatterhands we start off following then. Oh, gets a heavy shotgun to the back, down to 30 health. He managed to actually get the yellow armor. And how the hell did he survive that? That first shotgun was so powerful. Nearly took him out completely. And yet the following few shotguns did nothing to him. Look, he's remained on that health despite being chased. Don't know why we're timed out there, but carrying on. Foundation 2-0 up on the frags. Doesn't mean too much at the moment, but they do seem to have this quad area position to start off with. Old Splatterhands has nothing. Let's switch away from him. Samuth has nothing either. Curson has nothing. Might as well stay on him though. He's going to go up this bounce pad. And there's Old Splatterhands with the plasma. Gets the frag. 33 health seems to be our favourite number at the moment. Gets a 50, and there we do. We have a quad damage time. It's going to spawn in 10 seconds. Morpheus here with the rockets moving in. Manages to only hit his own teammate. Eventually takes out Simons. Nishak to follow, and Morph's done an excellent job with his team there. Look, quad's going to be up in a second, and Samuth takes it. Protects that rail well. He's just taken the mega health. Yellow will be up in a second. He seemed to have a time on that, so this could be a pretty decent quad run. Didn't quite pick up the rocket launcher ammo there. Might come a cropper because of that, although there's some more ammo there. Oh my god, excellent rocket. The jump there perfectly. Positioning himself for the shot. It's actually harder than it looks. And background for the mega. Just to work a quad on with rockets, pretty impressive, although he's now run out of ammo, like I pointed out. Could go down as a result. Oh my god, he's managed to survive and get the shotgun, and that's put C4 up 13-5. Now cycled round to Nishak's point of view. Didn't quite notice West at first, but the machine gun drew his attention. Gets the shaft kill. And now on the bridge. And it looks like Foundation are wanting to pressure and push this bridge and quad area and try and control it for themselves. It is C4's main tactic to hold this area. Now the Polish team and all Polish players do seem to love this map. And when we see experts like Verb running around, it is really impressive to watch. 4 frags the difference. They've closed it in. We've got 40 seconds until quad. Nothing up for a good 10 seconds here between the teams. So either waiting around for those items or they'll be fighting it out. And here we go, following west for this upper yellow, which will be up in a second. 25 seconds till the quad. Lower yellow not taken before, so that'll spawn after. Last red before quad now, that's taken. Be a while to survive that armor out. Ready for a quad stack, but they might want to push now with it and try and win the area if Foundation indeed were the team to take it, which I would presume so. C4 in the position earlier than Foundation. They rush through now, coming from the bridge, and Simons manages to steal it, takes it, only had the pummel and went down. Good move from Foundation to take that, but they've managed to drop by 10 frags the difference now. See, look at them rushing back straight away to the bridge, and they're going to get a railgun out of this, it looks like. C4 not a very good lock and position on that bridge, but they do win it back pretty easily. Not much damage from Foundation there. Until we go frag for frag and we're back on Morphs' point of view. So look at some of the stats he's hitting. 75% rail, probably only had 4 shots. 30% LG, not too bad either. Just hear the sounds below, and it looks like Foundation are just sitting back. I'm going to cycle round, have a look what they're doing. Yeah, they're in the red armor area now. You will see teams say, use 3 players to secure that red armor area, and then send 1 out maybe to try and cycle the yellows, and they'll have a massive armor advantage over the team that's at the quad rail position. Oh, nice frag with the rockets, though. Look how much damage West took there, down to 6 health. It's going to get the yellow though. Oh my god, countered by the LG, almost taken out. Foundation getting a good couple of frags there. See, they pick up that lower yellow as well. And I'd imagine C4 not looking very good armor-wise, coming up to this quad in 15 seconds time. In fact, if Foundation attack now, they're not in a very good position at all. See, last upper yellow for West. He's actually going to get a bit of health as well. Could have done with both 25s, but one's enough for the minute. Oh, Splatterhand's caught out as well, but Kerson's the guy to grab the quad. He goes down instantly. Samuth avenges his death. And we're back to the point of no power-ups for another 2 minutes. So about 15 frag difference. Curson moving in, trying to defend the squad area with the rockets. And it is very fighty at the moment. Neither team wanting to give up this primary position. And what we saw recently with the American TDM teams, there's a lot stronger play around the red armor, and they prioritise that area over this rail area, which the Europeans seem to favour. Now whether that's better or not I couldn't say, but there definitely is an advantage in stacking up on those reds as well as getting the yellows and having a superior armor advantage. Of course you have less chance of getting the mega health and the railgun, but it's really whether you can counter with the other weapons such as the lightning gun, which are nearer the red armor. Nice rail from Samuth as he controls this quad area. He's stayed pretty tight in here, not ventured out too far. Haven't seen much pressure on the red zone from the bridge holding players, and Nishak moving in there from behind with the plasma takes out Samuth. Nice work from him. Morpheus to follow, and we're closing in on the next squad damage, 15 seconds away. Foundation having the positional advantage at the moment. Good steal with the shotgun there from Nishak. Hits the rail as well for an impressive He's going to miss out on the quad though. He's not in the area, and West stoling it. Well, that's got to be completely mistimed there from Nishak, just moving out to mid to what I thought he would secure the zone and then move back. The red armor is up, but West doesn't even notice. He's just running round after frags at the moment. Should pick up the ammo. He does. Up to 150 cells with that. Red has been taken from behind him. And he must realise he's missed it now, so he's straight back to the bridge. Might get a frag out of this just before it ran out, no. And we see Twister must have been the guy who picked up the red. He's on the bridge, and actually C4 with that quad picked up the frags, but they lost position. So I have to see what they do about that, whether they rush and attack, which they seem to be doing from the quad. And they've done a lot of damage to Twister. He's going to get pushed low. He's dead. And Morph picks up his arsenal, drop weapons. Oh, nearly a lovely direct rocket there, but his teammate got the frag. Rocket and rail switch, just missing out there as well. Morph sporting that Polish national team flag. Got a couple of national team players in the lineup, including West as well as Morpheus for the Polish team. He's up to 60% rail now. A few more shots on the board. Misses out on those though. We've got 30 seconds before the quad. And we see C4 pressuring in there. West and Morph. They've done a really good job. If they can keep this yellow as well on top of that, 15 seconds to go, then they've just damaged the whole of the Foundation team, fragged a couple of them, and they'll be really well set up for this quad. West's going to move in from the bounce pad. Is he with Morpheus? They're timing it right, are they? 4, 3, 2, 1. There's the quad. Oh, gets knocked off, and Nishak takes it. Although he does go down to West rail eventually, and well, Foundation have lost out again. And it's closing in on a 40 frag difference here to C4, and that is a big lead they've worked up. And I think it is all these needless pushes by Foundation at the moment with not really much to work with. This is C4's map pick, remember, so you might not expect Foundation to be as strong on it as they are on their own map pick. Realm of Steel Rats. Oh, sorry, it was a Dreadful Place. As we approach halfway through this first map of the esports7.net Full Tilt Poker Division 2 Grand Final. Winning team will take home €200. Buy some kind of nice expensive keyboard or something with that. Or in Poland, a car. Switch round. Samuth just died. Let's have a look at what Kirsten's doing. I haven't followed much of him yet, although he's got nothing. If he goes at the bounce pad, he's probably going to go down. But 35 seconds till the quad. He is actually killed by his own teammate West, who's doing some excellent work with the plasma. Switches to the shaft, but goes down to Simoz's railgun. And Foundation have the position on the quad at the moment. C4 rushing it really aggressively up the bounce pad. They do have weapons though, and that is always the key when you're attacking an area, though Foundation really did set up their Foundation strong there and didn't let C4 get in. Good positioning from Simoz here. Anybody coming through those doorways or up that bounce pad, he's going to have the advantage and the drop on them. Although look at that push from Morpheus. Brilliant LG work, and the quad's up. Kirsten takes it. He's been dropped to shaft. Only 24 ammo though. Hope he knows that. He had a time on the Mega. Brilliant. It's going to work out perfect for him. Might want to just drop off directly. Oh my god, great dodging. Gets caught out though, going up the bounce pad backwards against Nishak. It's a rocket. He might have decided to run away in that position actually and gone round the back of the map, maybe secured red first. But it was a pretty decent run and a good grab from C4, seeing as Foundation had the area pretty locked. So, good work from them. Following Twister now, he's going to go down to the rockets of West in the end. And we've seen a lot of West so far this map. He's doing some good work for the C4 team. And coming from the upper bracket, They are 1-0 up on maps already. So at this rate they could be 2-0 up, and it's a long way back for Foundation, especially as their maps come second choice. So to see if they can turn this map around. Frag's difference don't really matter after this point though. There's no final map to be decided. All the maps picked already in this system. He's actually brought it back though by quite a bit. 20 frags in 25 seconds until quad. Foundation are just doing a much better job of locking off this quad area earlier. Didn't C4 commit. Lose the frags. But they have missed out on the quads. Let's see if they can take this one. Nishak again in a great position to defend. West comes up, hits the rocket. Let's see if we can switch into the area. We can, and C4 look like they're going to take the quad. Morph defending it with the shaft. Good work. Samuth takes this quad, be straight down to Old Splatterhands, who is fragged himself. 19 frags the difference. C4 just short of 100. And there you go, hit the century. West getting a frag there with the shaft on Old Splatterhands. Lower yellow will be up in a second if he's watching for it. There it is. And I'm glad Foundation will close the gap a bit, make it a bit more exciting this map. Still plenty of time to come back. And they've definitely gone the right way about it on the recent quads. Although they've actually missed the quad grabs, their setups have been fairly decent beforehand. They just need to keep it a bit tighter right before the power-up spawns. West surrounded by Foundation players. He can hear them all, but no trouble for him. 2 rails coming at him. Old Splatterhand's going to go down, as he manages to escape only for a split second. Drops the rail to the C4 team. And West is doing an excellent job, especially with this upper yellow. Old Splatterhands gets the spawn, manages to grab that rocket. Is about the only thing he can actually do in the end. And West getting both yellows. Now this is important for C4, or well, the team that's going to control that rail area. If they're not getting the yellows, then they could be losing out on that armor advantage. So they need to make sure they get the yellows as well as controlling the quad and rail point. They can afford to give up the red at that if they do that, but if they give up the yellows as well as the red, then they could be in trouble. Simon's moving in with the rocket launcher, manages to take out West, who was presumably the only C4 guy with armor. Samuth only 4 health, although he is in a good defensive position. We saw Simons defending from that point, and there was a much better lock on the quad that time. It seemed like Foundation were a bit late. Curson with the quad now does have only a railgun to work with. He has got a rocket launcher but out of ammo. The rocket launcher crate isn't up, so he's just going to have to try and hit some quad rails, and he does! Nice one, 7th impressive. Let's have a look at his stats. 70% rail. That's Division 1 standard accuracy there. And eventually gets a rocket launcher just as the quad runs out. Picks up the red. Now it'd be very interesting if perhaps he could time that red and go back for it next time. Seemed like he just misheard Twister there, who just picked up the railgun in front of him. He's gonna go down, is he here? Oh, he's managed to evade for a split second before Old Splatterhands chased him up the bounce pad. Now he's got a nice set of weapons. Palms off his rocket to a teammate who just ignores it and runs away. Lightning gun, plasma rocket. Even some machine gun ammo. But C4 with that quad just before it managed to build up the lead by another about 10 frags again to 30 frag difference. C4 just coming in, just rushing this quad room. It's just so aggressive. But they do it all together, and that is so important in TDM, to keep together and play as a team. And it'll become more and more important as these maps develop further tactically, that the individual team play elements become the key differentiation factors between the two teams. Twister doing an excellent job there. Hardly lost anything, although straight at the bounce pad, taken out by C4 so easily there in the end. And C4 have got a very, very big advantage on position on this quad. Just better watch out for the bounce pad as at the last second. 3 seconds to go till it spawns. Rush from the bridge by Twister. Gonna miss. Oh my god! Just saved last second as he ran out of shaft. We saw. There's that shotgun for West. And right over to the red armor. And it's up as well. This is going to be ideal for the quad. Just dodges the rail, although more by accident. It probably wasn't even aimed at him. Thank you, Twister, for the lightning gun. Not sure quite why he's going down this route anyway, although the yellow will be up in a second. Sometimes you do get teams congregate in that lower area when the quad's up, but we haven't seen either of these two teams do that, particularly on this map so far. And 30 frag difference again. 1 quad remaining now for Foundation to bring this back. It's going to be difficult. Very difficult. On West's point of view, yet again, going to cycle round, see if we can get someone else's. There's Morph who goes down to Old Splatterhands. And we saw in an earlier bracket game him have a very good match. Let's see if he can pull something out here. No, he goes down to, well, West again. Just going to give up switching off him, I think. Seems like we always end up on his point of view anyway. You might want to look at his rocket ammo. Only 1 gets up to a more usable 6 shots. And he's tried to control this middle room. Simos catches him out brilliantly though with the shaft. Trying to control that middle room is one of the key points on this map to stop early attacks, especially on quad from upper positions. If you can lock down the bridge and then lock down that middle room earlier, you can stop anybody getting in a dangerous aggressive position before you have a chance to set up properly in the quad room. Then retreat back to the quad room, and then your only risk is really from the bridge and the bounce pad inside the quad room, or a very last second rush from the upper. Doorways, 5 seconds till the quad curse. An excellent bridge position to defend it. Twister's not going to get there in time, and West again with the quad. 4C4. Twister doesn't even notice the quad drop down behind him. 2 frags to see if he can get a third. Goes for the arrogant rail there. Misses it and manages to blow himself up. Bit humiliating, especially on stream. Let's switch around. Morpheus now with the shaft. One of the up and coming Polish TDMers. Oh, nice rockets. Good controlled shots there. Takes out West as he rushes towards the bounce pad. But going up that bounce pad against a railer and another guy, you're not really going to come off best. 10 impressive for Curson. He's got some excellent rail shots in. Just missed out, checking his accuracy actually. As we run down the last 10 seconds of this first map, that will put C4 2-0 up on maps in this esports7.net Full Tilt Poker Championship Grand Final of Division 2. Means they only need to win 1 more map before they're crowned champions. And you have to say, by the looks of things, they definitely would be the favourites going into it.
Vote now. Vote passed.
So, Dreadful Place, one of the new maps in Quake Live. I mean, I say new, but it's been out for months and months and months, but I would say the teams are still developing tactics on it, although it is getting a bit more mature and players can't complain they don't know the map as much as they used to. Definitely one of the more favoured maps in the map pool, as we saw in the ESH reality vote. Getting more votes than old Campgrounds and Retribution, in fact. DM6 and DM7 that is. So people do like this map. They like to see what the two teams can do. Right, so again, a single power up. It is the quad damage. We do only have 1 yellow armour on this map, and the red, which is in the position we're standing at the moment. Mega health, the opposite side to the red armour, so you kind of get teams either sit at the mega side or the red, and the mega side generally will get more of the yellows. Although I haven't really seen any teams particularly farm the armors that effectively yet. Here we go. Teams are going to remain the same. Simos, Nishak, Twister, Old Splatterhands for Foundation, Curson, West Morpheus and Samuth for C4. And we're following Twister to start off with. Gets that red armor and plasma spawn. He's rushing straight through to the shaft area. Now the shaft area is definitely one of the zones you see develop a lot of strategy around trying to control that weapon now. It's such a powerful weapon for getting frags. Twister managed to lose all his armor and goes down to Samuth 8 seconds before the next red. He might want to just mill around this area, control it. There's a railer railing at him. Doesn't seem to notice, although does take out Old Splatterhands. I think actually he was the guy with the rails. The red's been picked up. And Samuth's actually run out of ammo on the rocket. Quad's up early. 37 seconds. Simos was there. His team were there as well, so good work from them. Always important to set up that quad early. Can spawn in the first minute from the 30 seconds to the 59 seconds point. And you always want to be in position, waiting on this red armor before he moves out. It's excellent play as well. Takes out West while he waits. Picks it up. And now out looking for frags. Samuth goes down. This is a brilliant quad run so far. It's got 4 or 5 frags out of it. Oh, just took too much damage, although really important there. Took the shaft out of the hands of C4. Teams are tied. It looks like to me both teams want to control this red armor. It is seen as the primary tactic on this map at the moment, but it is the opposite side to the Mega Health, a very powerful gun, and you do have the yellow armor really on the other side of the map, so it's not necessarily a stronger position. It's very hard to lock down this room with spawns inside it and 5 different entrances spread out across at different heights. So it's not the kind of room you can just lock down easily. But we see both teams fighting for it on Morpheus' point of view with the rail. That's the rail basement in front of us. Another important position, just like the shaft. Spawn, control those 2 powerful weapons. You can do all kinds of carnage. As he just missed out on the shaft spawn. Not going to give away his rail. Very intelligent play there. Don't want to drop your weapons to your opponents. And look at that West. Excellent rockets. The Starman from the first map. Deep inside. Now trying to dish out the same punishment to Foundation. On dreadful place, defends this quad. Is he going to miss out on it though? Oh, there's the spawn. Morph gets it, but he's only got a sharp. No, he's got a rocket, but realised too late, it looked like. And I think that was a bit of a messed up last ditch save. That actually stopped his teammate stealing it. Grabbing it, sorry. But in the end, doesn't particularly matter. As long as the opponents didn't get it, as the teams are pretty much tied. And look at this battle over the red armor. Both teams so obsessed with trying to get control of it. Curson getting the frag with the shotgun, waiting on this rail. We don't know what time that's going to be up yet, but we saw the kind of damage he can dish out on the previous map. He had something like 10 or 11 impressives. There you go, first frag with it and Twister. I'm getting some weird lags. I think the connection lags. So the stream might occasionally look a little bit laggy. Sorry about that. Old Splatterhands defending a lower area with a shaft. Actually, a really good position to take up as long as you don't get railed. As West using that shotgun. Damage was reduced recently, but frags still seem to be coming with it. It's just not the completely most dominant weapon and only weapon to choose that in any situation anymore. So, good changes. West using that rail to great effect. 3rd impressives in a row, and now we got 15 seconds before the quad, and the teams really want to set up before that. This is the type of map you want to set up that quad pretty early because it's very hard to get to it. Now West could be in trouble if Foundation have set up early. No, they haven't. Oh, those Splatterhands coming in with an excellent rocket, and we just see, just because they got there before them. Oh, Morph grabs it again. Another save for him, effectively. As the quad dies. 10 frags, though, the difference. in Foundation's favour. So C4, after dominating the first map deep inside, not looking so clever on this one. Well, eventually getting the frag with the plasma wasn't perfect work from him. Then he does go down to Simos with that railgun. He gets his second pummel kill. As 3 of his team start messing around on that bridge area for the red armor. Sharing guns between each other. Again, another pummel player we're following somehow. And Foundation just seem to be able to congregate and group together a lot better around the red armor. And they're the ones in control of it at the moment. All of them managed to run out at the same time. C4, unfortunate they didn't notice really there and just nip in and steal that red that was sitting on the spot. Wow, look at that. 20 frags of difference. Just built up. Very good play from Foundation. Really showing they are experts on this map compared to C4 so far. Red armor going to be taken by Nice Shack. Got 30 seconds until quad. Actually, I would say worth just getting a bit of health, going to quad, and defending it. Saving that armor. Because you only got 15 seconds till quad now. If C4 will get to get in ahead of them, that armor, although it might get you into the quad room, not going to get much of a run out of it. And yeah, brilliant, he's there. Although it's pretty late. Lucky C4 didn't come in. He's in a good defensive position. You see how hard it is to move into a room through some tight doorways. Oh my god, the nades kill by Morpheus again.
Excellent.
It's really becoming the quad saviour master for C4 in this round. From a Nice Shack's point of view still. Nice point blank range rail, and Sama finishes him off with his shotgun, morphs in for the avenging kill. Still around 20 frag difference. Even though C4 control this room, you don't really feel like they're on top at the moment. And there you go, Morph gets the red and pretty much instantly goes down. Really am quite lagging, sorry about this. Hopefully that sorted it. C4 just closed the gap in here. I managed to miss that last quad, unfortunately. So we follow Kirsten with the railgun over this red armor. The gap has closed in really, really close now. 4 frags. We're now at the halfway stage of this second map, sorry. Although effectively the third map. C4 2-0 up. Foundation do need to win this, so there's quite a lot of pressure on them. Is their map pick as well, and with the scores closing in, feel a few nerves kicking in maybe, bit of tension, bit of rage maybe on their method of communication. Though they have won back control of this key zone, the red armor. We only got 15 seconds before the quad, and Old Spartans has run across to the complete opposite side of the map. Manages to miss the rail on the yellow armor carrier as well, so he's going to be completely out of position. Going to actually switch around. Have a look at someone in the zone. There we go, the frag from behind actually by Old Spartans. It worked out perfectly. They went over there though, Twister with nothing. Got the quad and went down pretty easily. Samoth getting a frag on Old Spartans as well. To redress the balance of the frag exchanges. There we go, fourth impressive for him. It's effectively Poland versus Germany here, two national teams. Not necessarily all national players, but teams that consist of players only from one nationality. Quite a rare thing in this day and age in Quake Live. Some people would like to see more of this kind of team. Others quite happy with a mixture of nationalities. But there's not that many teams about. A couple of pretty much UK only based teams as well. Not too great work with the plasma, though he does get the frag eventually on Morpheus. Depleted his ammo completely there. Has Twister though. Bit better MG. He does have a shotgun in hand. I don't know if he's noticed or not, but he's picked up another, so he definitely does know he has one now. And just slightly extended their lead again. Closing in on 10 frags. Foundation by getting control of that red. It seems like C4 just aren't as adept at attacking it and winning it back, holding it and taking advantage of the red. This might just come down to quads for them, and really both teams should be wanting to get people at quad to set it up now. In fact, some of the Division 1 teams will send a player 40 seconds early to make sure this area is secure and ready, and the rest of the team moving in to support them. There we go, a free quad for Twister this time. Oh, takes a hell of a lot of damage, down to 3 health. He can't move out the area. There's the 50. That is so lucky for him. Got hit in the rail. I didn't actually see who it was by. Oh, he's going to get 2 frags here though. Excellent. West just got blocked by his teammate and did go down. The score difference is 10 now. West going down again off the spawn. He's going to get caught out on the bounce pad by Morpheus. 8 health. He's managed to survive too. Wow. What an interesting quad run that was, and 14 frags the difference as C4 hit the century. Foundation already hit that a little while ago. Still, I'd have to say the map is really open to either team taking it. We saw how far C4 could come back from. I think it was almost 30 frags a difference. So we will have to see if they can do it again and indeed take the lead, although I think it's going to have to come down to a quad damage. Or maybe 2, and that requires a much better setup and actually turning up for it. Samoth with the lightning gun frag and the rocket. He's actually done some really good frags in this match so far. Span's getting shot from behind. I think that's from his teammate, wasn't it? Almost got pushed to his death, effectively. And the gap has built up to around 15 frags. Not an insurmountable lead, as I say, but there's only 3 quads left on the map. Everyone's going to be important. We see actually Foundation on this yellow side of the map, 2 of them. We see a third one just at that bounce pad. Going to check what C4 are. Samoth, there we go. Curson waiting on the quad, and they've set up earlier, though no one's defending that upper doorway. Curson will take it. Quad's going to be up in a few seconds. Old Splathands moving in, gets the frag. Twister moving in as well. And the last second push and attack does win it for them. Those nades almost hitting the quad. Nishak does have the mega health. And now he can move out and do some insane damage with this red as well, shaft in hand to the C4 team. Well, they set up early, they did a good job of that, they just didn't hold it until the power up spawned, and he's getting some lovely spawns here to get the frags. What's that, 3 or 4 frags quadrant? It's really extended their score. $20 frags the difference as West gets that return frag and rewarded with the red. And low on LGM means he switches out to the plasma, which is never good on the type of pings that the Polish players play with, so it won't be their ideal choice of weapon. Hit scan weapons I find are very useful with high ping still. In some situations they work out better than they would if you're a low ping, but it depends what the players are happy with and used to. Polish players often play with high ping, so they're used to that kind of thing. German players tend to get a very good server advantage all around Europe, so they might prefer their lower ping. Here we go. 15 frags difference here as C4 do control this red again. Now there's only 2 quads remaining, 20 seconds until the next one. If West here with a bit of armor that he's got, the green armor was up. If he can just control this point, looking for the 50, it's not up, although you really want to try and save that for the quad carrier if it was. 8 seconds till quad. Bit of danger from high there. There's a bounce paddler as well, you could hear. Just failed the jump briefly. The quad, is it going to be saved? Yes, it is. Saved by Foundation, just stolen in front of the C4 players, although it was fragged instantly by West. Nishak's rail's not doing too well for him, although he does manage to dodge Samuth with the pummel. Should just back off and see if the 50's up. Almost killed by his teammate there. Please drop down and go. Oh, nice rail from Morph. Just before the 250s will pick up. And he got 90 in ammo with that rail. Let's see if he can use them all. Third impressive straight away. Morph's usually a very, very strong roller. Not hitting all his shots today. He's on a French server though. I can't imagine Poland playing on a French server a lot of the time. Only maybe versus, say, Spanish teams. It's kind of surprised that both teams are actually playing on a French server. But I guess I can't play on a German server or a Polish server. I don't really want to split it. 10 frags is the gap. We've only got 1 quad left in 50 seconds. Morph missing those important rails. Does hit 1. He's going to have to back off. He has got a bit of armor, so it's worth just saving that maybe. And he rushes in really aggressively. Oh, manages to take out Simos and Nishak. Excellent play from him. Really aggressive. He's got a rocket. He's going to palm that off to his teammate. Well, here's the time to take risks. I mean, they've got nothing to really lose. If they lose this map, they've still got more to play. Foundation need to win this map, so putting them under pressure is going to work out. We've got 18 seconds until the quad. Simons with the railgun. He's got plenty of ammo. He palms it off to his teammate. He's only got a bit of ammo on the shaft and does get taken out by Curson. Look at the score difference now. It's so close. 5 frags the difference. Good defensive rocket play from Curson in excellent position. Nishak going to move up the bounce pad here with the plasma. Saves the quad. Oh my god, gets knocked off it. Picks it up. Samuth could finish him off if he hits the rocket. It doesn't. And Foundation have the final quad. The frag difference isn't a lot though. Curson moving in with the pummel. I think he might have even hit a bit of that. But Nishak did get the frag reds up. That's a blessing. The 50 gets taken in front of him, but the 225s are up. He'll feel so much more comfortable now. 8 seconds to go on the quad, and he's going to get a couple of frags out of this. Although Samuth doesn't go down, and West manages to frag him with the plasma. 40 seconds left, 10 frags the difference. I think this is going to go in Foundation's favour here. And we will move to a third map, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe C4 can pull something back in the last 25 seconds. West moving around. If there's one guy that could, with 72% rel, 34% LG, then it might be him. But no, it isn't. It's going to be Foundation taking that map, so C4 leads 2-1
Red wins.
in the grand final of the esportsheaven.net Full Tilt Poker Championship Division 2. C4 taking deep inside. And now dreadful place for Foundation. Now C4 coming from the upper bracket, so they were 1-0 up already on the map score. Well, you have to say, it was all down to that last quad in the end. C4 managed to pull it back so well, especially with that aggressive play from Morph there, where, in all honesty, I would have bottled it and backed off, trying to save my stack, but it did start bringing the score back, and if they'd managed to get that last quad, I think it might have gone their way, so very important. Nishak managed to grab that and save the day. Intervention. C4's next map pick will be the 3rd map in the series, or technically the 4th, I guess. No team changes, it looks like, but I will just restart the VOD.